The practice of Vipassana is one of the most ancient meditation techniques around today. It was taught about 2,500 years ago by a man named Siddhartha Gautama, more commonly known as the Buddha. While it is among many other techniques he taught in his time, this particular practice is said to be a direct path to realization and liberation from suffering. Vipassana means to see things as they really are. One does this by observing the reality of their body and their mind from moment to moment. So Vipassana is a technique of self-observation, leading the practitioner to experience the universal truths of impermanence, egolessness, and unsatisfactoriness. It is the direct experience of these three truths that purifies the mind and eradicates suffering. Out of these, impermanence is the easiest to grasp, so this is what Vipassana initially focuses on. Let's see how the technique does this. On a daily basis, we are hit by a countless number of external stimuli, which are processed by our five senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. We are also hit by internal stimuli in the form of our thoughts and feelings, which are processed by the mind, our unofficial sixth sense. At this stage, our consciousness simply identifies that an event has occurred. For example, a sound has been heard, or a smell is present. Then, our perception kicks in to recognize this data and, based on previous experience, labels or categorizes it to give it an evaluation, either positive or negative. In response to this evaluation, a sensation will arise somewhere on the body, either pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, based on how the input is perceived. The sensations that we experience produce an impulse to act, and, more often than not, result in a reaction from us, either mental or physical. This process is part of our evolutionary biology, which was great for running away from predators, but it works against us in our modern world, where we rarely face life or death situations. Repetitive reactions create our habits, and more often than not, these are not very helpful habits. If a sensation is pleasant, the mind's habitual reaction is to want to prolong and intensify the experience, trying to hold on to it as long as possible. The mind truly doesn't understand that this pleasant experience is only temporary. If a sensation is unpleasant, the mind wants to stop it and push it away. If we feel uncomfortable, we try all sorts of ways to run away from this feeling. The mind really doesn't understand that this unpleasantness will eventually fade away. And if a sensation is neutral, we quickly become bored and start looking for entertainment or something more interesting. This is the reactive habit pattern of the mind that leads us to suffering, always craving for pleasant experiences that never last, and always running away from unpleasant experiences that will eventually pass away anyway. Never content. By continually reacting in this way, we reinforce the control that these sensations have over us. We are attached to them. In most of us, the reacting part of the mind has become very strong, and the cognizing part of the mind has become extremely weak. We continually judge and react to every little thing that happens to us. Unless this habit pattern is broken, we will never be content. This is the problem that Vipassana cuts at the root of. The technique uses the physical sensations experienced on the body to help one experience impermanence and break the hold of attachment to oneself. Through the practice of systematically observing sensations on the body with a balanced mind and not reacting to them, knowing that they are impermanent, we short-circuit the mind's reactive habit pattern. This way, we can be content no matter what we experience, allowing us to face more and more of life's difficulties and problems in a calm and balanced way. However, it is only the actual experience of this truth through meditation that liberates us. Intellectual understanding won't help. You cannot learn to ride a bike by reading about it. If you met someone who had never tasted salt before, how would you explain it to them? You can use all the words that you want, but they will never truly understand what salt really tastes like. They have to actually experience the taste of it to understand. Just like clouds in the sky, everything that we experience is impermanent. So how could we possibly find lasting satisfaction in something that is temporary and continually changing? What's the point in becoming attached to something that is so ephemeral? When we can learn to let go of our preconceptions, of our judgments, of our unconscious habitual reactions to our experiences, we learn to see things as they really are. We are then free from the hold suffering has over us, and are able to choose our own path. The continual practice of Vipassana helps us slowly realize this truth. You can find out more at Can You Zen or see the link in the description below.